Hello, I'm gonna show you how to beat the game without even shooting your gun, and without doing it how you've probably seen anyone else do it. All you need is Hina, and I recommend the grenade launcher. You go here, we'll just do the forest, and all you need is to pick a direction and run. This is the entire strategy. We picked up the grenade launcher, so that way that does more damage. That will be nice for one of the bosses we're going to face. But for the most part, you just pick a direction. I recommend down. I think you can do left or right pretty decently as well. But as long as it's not up, the only one you can't do, because the XP bar is in the way. And then you move your mouse all the way down to the bottom of the screen, so that way you get full visibility. The camera moves a bit. And then you just dodge as much as possible. And that's pretty much the whole strat. Pretty simple, pretty easy, but it gets you there. And this works on any difficulty, so if you're just trying to get through the difficulties quickly, I don't know why, you could just use this strat. You need to beat darkness 15 with this weapon. It'll work. This is just an example of one way you could do the pacifist achievement. Or, as I'm doing, one way to speedrun the game. Because by doing this, you do not pick up any XP. Because gaining levels is a time loss, and I don't want that. Now, important part. When you pick a direction, you have to keep going in that direction. You cannot change your mind later. If I was to go any other direction, that would give them the opportunity to start catching up to me. Every enemy off the screen is still there, and they are all still chasing me. So you just gotta keep going. But since this is the Darkness Zero, there should be no problems, no qualms, no concerns with having enemies catch up to me. I'm pretty sure here they're weak, they're slow, they're trying to explode on top of me, but that's them. Yeah, I just need to keep moving forward and go straight to the bottom of the map. And then the main reason that this character works is, of course, because of the dash. See, that looks a little dicey. I mean, I could make that one, but sometimes it gets pretty close. You just dash. You need to outrun bosses? Just dash. You're stuck in the cage that the second and, I think, fourth boss do? You just dash. So, that's really the whole trick, the whole idea. And, just stay on your toes. It is a whole 20 minutes of pretty much holding one direction on your keyboard and clicking whenever you feel like it. You can't get too lazy, or else they'll spawn in like clumps, and there is a decent chance of running into them. So, you need to make sure you keep an eye on it. Now, of course, I didn't show what perks I had, but I do recommend any of the perks that I'm gaining XP, that help keep you alive. I mean, right now you see I have the Divine Shield. Great one, always a good upgrade. And then the other one I have is if I get dropped to 1 HP, I gain health back up to 3 HP. I think that's another good one, because then that gives you extra hits you can take. Which you will be taking 2 required hits in this fight. Or this run. And that'll be to escape both of the boss cages. At 15 and 5 minutes, I believe. So you do need to keep enough health, or ways to get the health back through perks, for those occurrences. Or if you just keep your Divine Shield, since it comes back in like 2 minutes, that would be good enough to get you there. Otherwise, just a lot of running. Your mouse down here for full screen visibility, and you keep at it. See, we got 2, 1, 15 minutes. There's the deer boss. You just dash through the wall, and now I'm just gonna mash dashes and see how far I can get away from him. This is the one boss that is a problem, because he can catch up to you. So what I would recommend is you do some sort of a zigzag pattern. Whenever he crouches down, you just dash the other direction. If you really want a good head start on him, if you ever have like a quiet moment, you can get him to run backwards, and then that'll give you a little bit of time that you can just dash away and not have to worry about him. That's one strat, if you want to keep him aggroed on you the entire time. The other strat, of course, is you can try to kill him with your shadow clones. It definitely is possible. I've done it before. It's just very annoying to try to get the hits in on him. I mean, like, that's usually a good one if you can get him to sort of dash where you're leaving him. See, I had to go to the side because of the enemies, and now he's here, and it's just... After 14 minutes, the enemy spawns start to get denser and denser until, 10 minutes, where the new enemy type spawns. And the other thing to be concerned about are the eyeball enemies, of course. Because they shoot at you, and they're really the worst enemy in the game, other than this boss. But he's a boss. You just need to keep on the lookout for them. If one was to spawn right in front of you, it would pretty easily take your shield away. And you just gotta keep dashing. Make it as smooth as you can. I don't know how much health he has, but he should be dying, I think, around the 10-minute mark, depending on how well I hit him. Nope, not getting in there. Okay. Now you can add little bits of zigzags in. That's what I like to do to avoid the deer. Just don't do it too much. All the enemies behind you are still loaded into the game. They are still there. That's part of the reason why you have to always be moving. Because if they ever catch up to you, you are in big trouble. There are, I don't know, maybe like a few thousand of them. See here, we're reaching the part where there's a lot of them. So just do your best, like I am, to weave your way through them. And make sure you know, always still going in the same general direction. I really wish the deer would die, though. I have been gaining some XP, but I should no longer, now that the enemies have gotten tougher, and are no longer dying in one hit. Which is good. There, we got rid of them. Of course, you could kill enemies, you could gain XP, but that wouldn't be the fastest way to do this. I mean, every pickup you get is like 3 seconds slower or so. If you make a snap decision. So far, so good. Going well. We have not taken any hits other than the required one. And we killed the deer boss with 11 minutes ago, so... things are looking smooth. This should be a guaranteed win, unless I do something catastrophically bad and do something wrong. We get a brief moment of respite before the new enemy type comes in. Now we have the flying worms, I believe. These enemies aren't a huge problem until a few minutes in. It's just because they're, they're supposed to be tankier and bigger. And they might even be a little bit faster, but that is not a problem. We're not really trying to kill them. We definitely still outspeed them with the dash. And until... I don't remember if it's after the boss fight or maybe right before it. When the enemy density goes up again, and it starts spawning a lot more, we need to start weaving like we were before. But until then, pretty easy. It's pretty chill at this part. At this part, it's pretty good. So, you just try not to get bored at this point. See, here's the eyeballs. If any spawn below you, you gotta make sure dodge the shot. So thankfully, their shot is very slow. Here's another... There's a boss. Goodbye, boss. You may have seen him there at the upper left corner of the screen. He summons enemies, but we don't care about him. He doesn't stop us. He's not fast. So, keep dashing. Enemies are starting to ramp up a little. But until they're like waves of 5 or 4 down here, 4 or 5 or more, I am not concerned. Of course, it's entirely up to you how much you dash. You can spam it, or you can just wait until enemies get close and then use one. It's up to you. You can easily do both if you want to give your hand a rest. I mean, you're faster than them, so we don't need to be spamming it. At least here on Darkness 0, I don't know if on the other ones they might be faster. I'd have to look at what upgrades the enemies get every darkness level you go up. If they do get faster, then I of course recommend dashing more often than when needed, but whatever you're comfortable with, this strategy will work. We have 7 minutes remaining. See? Right there on the mark. There are a lot more enemies. I lost my shield. Needed to juke a different direction there. The stuff up... that is not what you want. That is what you need. That's what I need to be looking out for. You need to just keep finding the lines, and you really want to try to dash through it as much as possible. Because when enemies get close to you, there's this weird magnet effect where it feels like they speed up a lot. Okay, we need to go sideways a bunch. You can see the big clump of enemies. Ow. Okay, this has not been a generous spawn pattern so far. And you cannot dash through the enemies. We do not have the upgrade for that. You have to actually kill bosses and pick up the chests to get those. You definitely need to dodge everything. At this point, we just need to survive until 5 minutes, where the enemy is going to change again and we get put in the cage. We need to make sure that we have at least 1 hit point for that, for the shield. Some way to take a hit, so we can survive the next boss. I've gone invulnerable from one of my perks. Okay. I think that's from my clone freezing or burning 50 enemies? I don't remember. Most of the perks don't matter. You really just need the shield, and preferably, I forget what it's called, but it's the final one on the right side where when you go down to 1 HP, it heals you to 3. I do recommend that one. Through the wall. Goodbye, laser beam boss. And things should now become a lot easier. You should only be getting eyeballs and the exploders. Because that's what's supposed to be spawning. We're not supposed to be out here. But we are! And we are taking it as far as we possibly can to get this easy win. Yeah, you want the pacifist achievement? Easy. You want to beat darkness levels to get to darkness 15? Do this. You want to unlock weapons or beat weapons at darkness 15? Easy. This would work with any weapon. It's just any weapon other than the grenade launchers. It's going to be quite a bit harder to kill bosses. The shadow clone damage is based on your weapon damage. So if you had the shotgun, you'd do 10 instead of 60. But it is definitely still possible. As I said, you can outrun the deer boss for the entire length of time. It's not comfortable, but it's doable. You just do a bunch of zigzags. You get him to charge. He charges, you know, he preps, he charges, you go this way. He preps, he charges, you go this way. And then so forth and so on. Of course, we saw that little dragon boss there, I think around the 4-minute mark or so. I think at this point in the game, you outrun all the enemies. So, as long as you don't run into any trees, you should be fine. Although, I haven't paid a lot of attention, but I don't know if the game actually spawns trees in your way. We'll find out. I haven't noticed it previously, and I'm not seeing it now, so at this point, maybe you can just hold the S key and cruise to victory. I mean, at this point, there's just nothing happening. Just you and an endless void of trees with your tiny circle of light. I don't even have my hand on the mouse anymore. It's not needed. There are no enemies. I don't need to dash anymore. I'm clearly outrun them. So, sorry. I take back said statement. That was weird. Those spawned at 2 minutes, and now there's nothing again. Okay, I probably could have gotten out of that without dashing, but don't need to chance it. Okay, there's another spawn at 2 minutes. That is good to know. Do be aware of that. I'll probably need to be a little bit prepared at 1 minute mark again. Maybe it'll spawn some more. But what I think is happening is there is a entity limit in the game. There can only be so many enemies. And at that point, we hit another threshold. But then it immediately capped out again, and so there are no enemies. So because we don't kill a lot, it doesn't spawn a lot. Makes the end of this really easy. But yeah, that's pretty much all you need for this strategy. It's not super possible to do this with any other characters. Actually, it might be. I am recording this just after the devs changed how damage works. Where if you took damage, you used to be knocked back, but now you don't. If any character could walk through the walls, you might be able to do this with a few of the other ones. it would be a lot harder. I would recommend the first haste perk, gain 1 level and take the haste perk. That way you get 20% more movement speed. But yeah, that's it. That's all you need. So, that's 20 minutes till dawn without firing your gun. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like or subscribe. I don't know. Bye.